Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Actually, should say high noon, 12:15. If you're on the West Coast, it is morning. Doing something a little bit different here today. I'm starting later in the day. This is Mark's message, and I have to give all my shout outs to Grow Live Nation, Emerging Sales Winners, 2020, Sell or Die, the diehards, everybody within Peachtree Corners, everybody with on the planet, because when you break it down, living in Peachtree Corners, obviously this is the peachiest place on the planet to live. So here we are. It's Monday, and it's the 13, that lucky number, 13th. And today we're going to talk about. I took something out of a book here, and I've shown you this before, Strategies for Winning. It is by the man himself, George Herbert Allen. And we are going to look at some things here together. What is winning? What defines winning? This gentleman was obsessed with winning. Some people made fun of him. He was a very straight and narrow individual. They said he was so square that if you rolled him on a craps table, he'd come up lucky seven or whatever. But Coach Allen, or George Allen, born the 29th, 1922. I'm going back in some time, Detroit, Michigan. He died the 31st, 1990, and he lived in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. He was obviously a football coach. However, he was more than that, just than football. And that's what we're going to look about, the man. Um, he received an MS from the University of Michigan, Wisconsin, and he went to Marquette rather, then he University, and then later Wisconsin. He received his MS from the University of Michigan in 47. After coaching teams at Morningside College, everybody has to start somewhere, right? So, and that was in Iowa. He went to Whittier and in California. He entered the National Football League, and he was the offensive end coach for the LA Rams in 57. He was an assistant coach under the legendary George Halas from 58 to 66. He coached the team's defensive unit, and in 63 they won a league championship. So he later on he went to the Rams, 66 to 70. He was traded, a lot of promising young talent. That's where he started looking at terms such as, the future's now. And I love this one. He always talked about like losing. It's like doing a slow death. And we're going to look at some of his sayings. And then later in 71 to 77, he coached the Redskins, and that's really what he's known for. After that, he had a brief coaching stint with the Chicago Blitz, Arizona Wranglers in 84. And, he even went back to a college at Long Beach University when most people, were just kicking back, retired, whatever. But the guy always had goals and he kept achieving, moving forward. His total record, this is what is very impressive: 144 wins, 69 losses, and 5 ties back when you're able to do all that. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And we're going to get into some things that Alan talked about. And this is one of his quotes that I always love. This one is: what I'm doing or about to do today, getting me closer to my objective, winning. And I will put this up here on the board so you can take a look at it. Is what I'm doing or about to do today, getting me closer to my objective, winning. And what defines a winner? What do you consider to be a winner? And if anybody's out there, you want to throw in your 2 cents, feel free. I'd love to hear it, because everybody has their own definition of winning. Sometimes it's more than just the score. And if you're moving forward and there's progression, no problem. To me, that is winning. However, other people look at how much is in their bank account as opposed to how you treat people every day. And I'm not against making money. That's not what I'm saying. But, what really defines a winner? And we're going to kind of touch on these things. And, Alan always had a unique way about going about things. I always loved this one. The surest way to lose your composure, excuse me, the surest way to lose is to lose your composure. I'll pop this up there because then you lose your mental edge. Okay, let me pop this up here so you can look at it. The surest way to lose is to lose your composure because then you lose your mental edge. Sometimes you may get into a discussion, a heated debate with somebody, and it doesn't go down the way you wanted to. And there's a lot of times you're like, man, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have done that. And really, in essence, what's happening is you're allowing that situation or that person to control you, and you're not staying focused, and you're not maintaining a certain level of composure, most in particular that edge, that mental edge. So you're crisp, sharp, are able to deal with whatever's put in front of you, whatever the adversity. And this is what I always say: when things are going your way, no problem. My dad always used to preach that to us. Hey, who cares about the guy? Things are rocking and rolling his way. I want to see the guy that when he's knocked down, what's he going to do? Is he going to get up? Is he going to stay down there? Is he going to worry what other people think? What is his mission in life? How's he going to handle adversity? And to me, that is the mark of an individual because we all struggle. We all are going to encounter things. And, this happens out there in the real world. And I find it really interesting in looking at human nature, how people deal with things. Like right now, what's going on in our world today. There are people out there that they're hurting, they're struggling in life and death, they've lost loved ones. So, how are they handling it? How are they moving forward? What are they doing about it? And those are all things to look at and be cognizant about. And obviously, we all have to be sensitive of what's going on out there in the world today. But here's another one I like that George put out there, Coach Allen. Concentration is a fine antidote to anxiety. And this is out of his book, and he went around to different professionals. Let me read this again to you. Concentration is a fine antidote to anxiety. Do you know who said that? Jack Nicklaus. Okay. And then this one, hitting is concentration. Free your mind of everything. Study the flight of the baseball from the pitcher. Okay. Read it again. Hitting is concentration. Free your mind of everything. Study the flight of the baseball from the pitcher. And the person that made that comment or quote was Reggie Jackson. And what Alan did in his book is he went around to different high level performing business people, athletes, and just wanted to get their input on concentration. And it's very important to have that. I think that's critical if you're looking to win at something. Whether you're a sales, teacher, parent, coach, business person, entrepreneur, concentration is paramount. And a lot of times, we may try at something and we kind of give up when we hit that wall. But, think about it. The reason I love baseball is you fail more than you succeed. And yesterday I did like 5 games. I dealt with high school kids, and it's just really interesting to watch someone that strikes out and then how they approach their next at bat. Some guys walk away hanging their head. Other guys, walk away saying, okay, you got me on that pitch. But this all goes back to learning from your mistakes and then moving on. So, and just like Jack Nicklaus mentioned here, concentration is a fine antidote to anxiety. So, you can't stress out on things. Just concentrate, do the best you can. Yes, we're all going to fail. That's part of the game. So now this one, being young or old is a distinct advantage in the job, George Allen. So I'm going to kind of reference some things that when I pull up some of these quotes that he talked about, and what it was, he calls these statements that create a small negative mental image. Well, these were the statements that create that positive mental image. So the statement that was the negative of that was, I'm too old for the job, and that's not true. Particularly now, people are living longer. And if you maintain your health, you're sharp mentally, you take care of yourself, you do what you're supposed to do out there, there are people out there in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they're very productive. So I'll just share that one with you. Being young or old is a distinct advantage in the job. That's how he looked at it. Okay, here's another one by Coach. I failed at business because it was my own fault. I am going to try again. Let me pop that up there. And I never made fun of anybody that tries something new, but I failed at business because it was my own fault. I am going to try again. That's another one. And the negative side of that was I was in business once, failed, I'll never try it again. So that's what some people do. They'll try something one time, boom, I'm done with it. And I call this the quitters rally. I've never been to one, but they could all probably go somewhere and tell you how bad or how they failed at something. And that's not always going to be the best option for somebody out there. So, some of the things in studying guys like George Allen, Bill Russell, Jeffrey Gitomer, Ken Walls, Grant Cardone. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's people, Bill Gates. You're going to laugh at this one. I think I posted this earlier today when I was on the Emerging Sales Winners with Jeffrey Gitomer. And by the way, if you haven't participated in that, it's on Facebook Live. 9:59. Jeffrey tries to do his thing. It's very inspirational. I would advise you do it, and you learn a lot from other people because everybody's throwing their comments. So I came up with this one. Winning is my assembly line. Helping people grow and develop is my automobile. Okay, so I can show you that. And excuse, I think I have a little typo. It should say but winning is my assembly line. Helping people grow and develop is my automobile. Now, yes, I work for an organization, Sales Concepts. They provide customized solutions, sales training, but that's how I approach it. I do not sell sales training. I help people, win. And with that winning, and help them grow, develop, and customize it for them and their organization. It's not about me. So, and I just said, that's my automobile. So you got that one. And I'm going to share you this since we're talking about all this fun stuff. I think I mentioned this last week, but I like it. Don't say if I could, I would. Say if I can, I will. And the neat thing about George Allen, I mean, I don't know if you ever met Jim Rohn, but I think those two guys would have a very good in-depth conversation. It would be a total mental calisthenic because Allen was constantly preaching. He was obsessed with winning, but he always believed in his people. He talked about visualization before it was even big. I mean, he was doing this stuff in the 50s, the 60s, and they probably thought, man, this guy, where's he coming from? But he'd tell like special teams, visualize this, offensive line, visualize that, offensive unit, visualize this, making good plays. And there's something to be said for that visualization. And here's another one. Your personal philosophy is the greatest determining factor in how life works out. Let me read that one. Your personal philosophy is the greatest determining factor in how your life works out. That's by the late great Jim Rohn. Um, and there's eons of this stuff by Jim Rohn. I mean, can't say enough about what the guy has, quoted. Uh, Earl Schoeb was the gentleman that kind of instituted his thinking, got him moving in the right direction. So with that, uh, I came up kind of sort of, if any excuse will do, find your excuse to win. We've all heard that any excuse will do. So I'm like, okay, then find your excuse to win. So I'll share that one with you. Just something I threw out there, kind of a cool thing. But getting back to George Allen on that, he was not about excuses, and he often said dying was like a slow death. Being around the guy when he lost, reading this book, they talk about it. Family members, other coaches, even the players. He took it real personal, and because he was always exuding his players, I can help you win. I can teach you how to win. And I know some of the press got on his case about all that, but hey, the guy had a goal. He shot for it. I showed you his record, tremendous record. To me, the guy was the ultimate winner, not just within the arena of football, but outside. He did a lot of things for physical fitness, with President Reagan at that time, and I think even President Bush. A guy, he was very much a forward thinker, and he was Mr. Possibility out there. And here's another one I love. And I know you know who this is. So I have to pretty much end on this note. The starting point of achievement is desire. The starting point of achievement is desire. There it is. The man himself, Napoleon Hill. There's probably another guy Allen would have had a great time talking with. But the thing about Allen, you could give him some peanut butter. He did have ulcers. He drank a lot of milk. He ate ice cream. He was not about messing around, even when there was a break, but everything was structured to the nth degree. Maybe a little overkill, but I know one of his sons talked about it. The milk or the ice cream helped chill out, so to speak, his ulcer. But the guy was just constant motion. I mean, in his 60s, 70s, he's out there running, jogging, doing stuff to take care of himself. So I really kind of admire the guy for, what he did, how he contributed as a football coach, as a human being, as a father. I know he probably wasn't the easiest person to live with. Most winners aren't, but I know his family that's in existence today. His wife has moved on. She passed, but his kids, they do not hate him. And it was a lot of fun, watching him, how he developed that Washington Redskin team. So I did my thing on Allen. And again, if you get a chance, get the book. It's a great read. It's more than just football, though there are some football things in here, but it's applicable for every day. And the gentleman that wrote it, obviously George Allen, very, very in depth. I mean, the guy impressed me with the way he thinks. And I know some of the leadership gurus out there, you could learn something by reading what's in this book. Let me tell you, this thing was written back in the 90s. So I'm kind of dating myself, but who cares? So moving forward with all that, since we're at that time, you know what I'm going to tell you, everybody out there on the planet. So be a leader, be a friend, and most important of all, be of service. And with that stated, always, always, always in baseball terms, you have to keep swinging for the fences in order to knock it out of the park. Hey, everybody, what's left of Monday, let's have a very successful day. Let's maintain our health. Let's have fun out there. And again, like I always say, knock it out of the park. I will see you tomorrow around this same time. So enjoy your day and make it a successful Monday.